Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm opening up about something more personal. You know those rare moments that everything just shifts? When a single idea, a phrase, or perspective lands so powerfully that it changes the course of your life? For me, some of those moments came through TED Talks. These weren't just inspiring talks for me. These were lifelines, each one lighting a new path that I never thought I'd explore. Today, I'm sharing 3 TED Talks that didn't just speak to me. They transformed me, reshaping the way I see the world and the way I live my life. I first got into TED Talks when I was in the United States doing a 1-year study abroad. I was really shy and frankly, I was terrified of every social interaction. One day, I just couldn't go to school. That's when I found this TED Talk. Number 3, Your Body Language Shapes Who You Are by Amy Cuddy. In this talk, Amy dives into a fascinating truth. The way we hold our bodies can shape not just how others see us, but also how we see ourselves. She reveals the powerful effects of power posing, a simple technique of adopting bold, open postures that can, in just 2 minutes, transform our mindset by raising testosterone levels and lowering cortisol, the stress hormone. This shift boosts confidence, resilience, and our willingness to take risks. The key phrase that keeps coming up over and over again in her talk is fake it till you make it.
So at the end of my first year at Harvard, a student who had not talked in class the entire semester, who I had said, look, you gotta participate or else you're gonna fail, came into my office. I really didn't know her at all. And she came in totally defeated and she said, I'm not supposed to be here. And that was the moment for me because 2 things happened. One was that I realized, oh my gosh, I don't feel like that anymore. I don't feel that anymore, but she does, and I get that feeling. And the second was, she is supposed to be here. Like, she can fake it, she can become it. So I was like, yes, you are. You are supposed to be here, and tomorrow you're gonna fake it, you're gonna make yourself powerful, and you're gonna, and you're gonna go into the classroom and you are gonna give the best comment ever, And she gave the best comment ever. And people turned around, they were like, oh my God, I didn't even notice her sitting there, She comes back to me months later and I realized that she had not just faked it till she made it, she had actually faked it till she became it. So she had changed. And so I wanna say to you, don't fake it till you make it, fake it till you become it. It's not do it enough until you actually become it and internalize.
This part of the video literally gave me goosebumps. Still does when I watch it today. So I did too. I faked it. I started faking confidence, stepping into a version of myself that felt bold and resilient. Little by little, I watched myself transform. I wasn't just pretending anymore. I was changing. I went from being a timid, scared girl into an empowered, confident woman that I always wanted to be. Number 2, The Power of Vulnerability by Brené Brown. In this talk, Brené Brown shares a powerful truth about human connection. Being vulnerable is the secret to building deeper, more meaningful relationships. After years of research, she discovered that people who accept their imperfections and embrace vulnerability are the ones who truly feel alive and experience love and joy. She called these people wholehearted people.
They fully embraced vulnerability. They believed that what made them vulnerable made them beautiful. They talked about the willingness to say I love you first, the willingness to do something where there are no guarantees, the willingness to breathe through waiting for the doctor to call after your mammogram, the willing to invest in a relationship that may or may not work out. They thought this was fundamental.
I first watched this TED Talk about a decade ago back in my university days, and I've lost count of how many times I've returned to this talk since then. The message is life-changing in itself, but it's also the way it's delivered that it takes to another level. The speaker's presence, her ability to connect, is nothing short of mesmerizing. She blends humor and humanity effortlessly, making her insights not only thought-provoking, but also personal and memorable.
I'm going to understand how vulnerability works, and I'm going to outsmart it. So I was ready, and I was really excited. As you know, it's not going to turn out well. You know this.
Think for a moment. When was your last time you showed up, even when it meant exposing your vulnerability? For me, it was when I confronted someone who crossed a line with me. I told them with all the courage that I could muster that I would not overlook this behavior anymore because I learned to respect myself. I set a firm boundary, but also let them know that I care deeply about them. My heart was pounding. It took every ounce of strength to stay grounded. Being vulnerable means facing those raw emotions inside you. For me, it was a mix of fear, anger, and a fierce need to protect myself. But alongside, there was also this love that I felt for this person, which made it even harder and yet more essential to speak my truth. A decade ago, I wouldn't have had the strength to do the same. But watching this TED Talk sparked something very powerful inside me. It was the first flicker of a flame that over the years I've carefully tended, adding to it until it grew into a steady fire. It took 10 long years of building that inner strength, but every moment of it has been worth it. Finally, number 1. The Prison of Your Mind by Sean Stevenson. Sean shares profound insights on overcoming mental barriers and embracing personal empowerment. Drawing from his own experiences having a rare bone disorder called osteogenesis imperfecta that stunted his growth and caused his bones to be extremely fragile. This is a talk that I come to rewatch whenever I hit a low. He presents 3 points, and the point number 2 is what stuck with me the most.
If I believe that I'm disabled, I would wither up, I would be shy, I would be insecure, I would be afraid, I would act like I need your help. And the rest of humanity would be okay with that. But I choose something else. I choose to be strong. I choose to be a leader. I choose to have words to move this planet.
He uses the word choice over and over again. He chose not to call himself disabled. Instead of getting angry and sad about all the things that he couldn't do because of his physical condition, he chose to adapt to his physical condition and ask himself, so what can I do with this body? This speaks to a deeply personal story which I'm not yet 100% comfortable to share with the whole world. But I want to share a little bit today. There was a time that I felt like I was disabled physically and psychologically. One day, it was a cold winter day right before Christmas in some town in Europe. I remember vividly to this day that I thought to myself, looking through this window frame, that maybe I will have to accept to live as a disabled person. This winter will be exactly 4 years since then. Not so long ago, is it? Only disability is one's refusal to adapt. His words. I almost gave up and called myself disabled, but I didn't because of so much support that I've gotten throughout these years. I learned to adapt to my own limitations with curiosity. What can I do with this body and mind? What if this body and mind are not prison? Instead, a unique instrument and a tool that I can use to create something beautiful. These questions changed my life. Alright, so those were the TED Talks that changed my life. Let me know in the comments if any TED Talks have impacted you or you end up watching any of the ones I mentioned today. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the future videos. Thanks for watching, and remember, growth happens one new idea at a time. I'll see you next week. Bye bye!